Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rita Siang. I am an educator, a public speaker, and the author of You Are Unstoppable. In this video, I'm going to interview an amazing and wonderful couple from the US. If you are a Christian and looking for love online, these two met online, they fell in love, they met in person, decided to get married. They've been married for 8 years and counting. They've got amazing kids. So it means that online dating works, but it can also be a problem. Let's listen to their story, see how they made it, learn a thing or two from them, and be able to use this to help ourselves in our quest to find love. Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Rita, as you know, and today I'm going to talk with She's World. She's actually here with her amazing partner. They are going to tell us their love story, how they met, and the journey so far, and how it's going. I can see so much smiles and love in the air right now. I just can't wait to delve into the interview. So without wasting time at all, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself, let us know your name and tell us, how did you two meet?
Awesome, honey. You want to go first?
Good. What's your name?
Okay, say your name. All right. So I'm Sheila. Mostly my close family call me She, and so that's why our channel is She's World, because it's just easier for my family to just kind of the pet name. So I'm originally from Ghana, and I know Rita, you're also from Ghana as well. So I think that I've been in America for 8 years, going on 9 years right now. So, honey, you want to tell about your stuff?
My name is Casey. I was born in Louisiana. That's the United States. If you don't know, it's next door to Texas.
Yeah, next door to Texas.
Well, everybody asks me, where's Louisiana? It's next door to Texas.
Yeah.
So how did you two meet?
I met online, I think Friend Spot.
It's perfect spot.
Perfect Spot.
Yeah, it's so long, it doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, it's a crappy website.
Tell me more about that. How was your meeting? Because some people, like someone I interviewed, the person sent a first message saying, "I love you," and she felt, that's weird. You're actually just sending me a first message. You've never even met me, and you're saying, "I love you." So how was your meeting? How was it? First message, like, how was it?
I think the only thing that kind of stand out for me was she thought highly of herself. She called herself a princess. I think that's what stood out the most. But the second thing is that, I guess her race, because I was into the black women. But other than that, I don't really call too much, because that website we went to was like really sucked, because we sent each other email, but for some reason we didn't get it right away. It would like take a week or something. I don't know. So we changed platforms.
I actually was the first person who messaged him, and I'd been on that site for a while, and it was just really those sites where you're like, you know what, I'm done. This is not working. And so I said, I'm going to send this message. If this person doesn't respond, I'm going to shut this website down, because you know how it goes when you're online. The messages you get, the crazy stuff that goes on. Everybody does that online knows this. So it was kind of getting crazy. So anyways, I think I sent him a message like, "Hi, how are you? If you want to talk, I'm getting off this website. This is like my Skype address or something, if you want to know more about me," or something like that. But he had actually was not even going on that site. And so he got the message in his email, and I think he couldn't even remember that you were even still on that dating site.
This is interesting.
Yes. And then we started talking, and it was very, very casual.
Yeah.
Really nothing out of the ordinary. I didn't remember my first conversation, but we just started to talk. And I remember saying, "I want to see you," because you already know, Rita, this online thing is crazy. And so I said, "I want to see you." And he was busy. And again, our time difference. But eventually he's like, "I'm going to go to work. I can get on the camera real quick." Maybe I think after a week, but the same week. And so once we saw each other, we were like, oh, we have a lot of belief system together. We kind of believe the same thing. What our expectation was the same, and so it was very, very easy for the transition.
Okay, wow, this is so interesting. I'm glad to hear all this, because some people get to a point where no good messages coming through, and they just give up and just walk away. I was actually at that point of leaving when I received this message from my husband as well. And I was like, well, I'm leaving the site and this is my email if you want to talk. And then the next thing I saw was a message in my inbox, and I was like, okay, this seems like so
Yeah.
I'm glad that you did not leave before that, before sending that message. Yeah, we are
Yeah.
today.
I want to chip this in, Rita, real quick. At this time, know that I was in Ghana and he was in America, so we weren't even in the same country.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Especially having that kind of a vast distance between you two, thousands of miles away. That's serious. At what point did you two decide it's time to meet in person? And like, who made the first move? Who asked, I want to meet in person?
I think it was off of a bet. She doesn't like the story, but
No, I don't like the story.
it's the first time that United States went to the World Cup in soccer, and ironically, they're playing against Ghana. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll make you a deal. If United States win, you come in September, and if Ghana wins, you come whenever you're ready." Well, first time United States was there, and they beat Ghana.
Oh wow! So this is interesting. This is the best
Yeah.
interview I've had so far, and this.
Yes. And this part of the story I don't tell anyone because we lost the football game. You know how we are with our suffix.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes. So
It's like,
this was Rita, this was like 2 years into us talking.
Yeah.
And so it was literally like, and then I think your question more so was, how did we come to the point where we're like, okay, we have to meet? I think when you start to talk to somebody for a period of time, you realize that at some point, the meeting really comes more so organically, and you start to have the conversation about who is going to come. And he couldn't come at that time. And so it was because he was in school and still working at that time. And so it was really me to come visit.
oh wow, this is such a beautiful story, and I'm loving this already, even though we've not even gotten anywhere yet. So, so you lost the bet and you had to come to the US. How was that for you? Because this is a very important question to people who would be watching this video, because it's quite difficult for people who are in Africa, especially getting visas to, America,
Gotcha.
Europe. And another issue is the fear of visiting, especially being a woman, visiting someone for the very first time in a country like the US, where you are scared or worried that you might actually be visiting someone who might not be, how do I say?
Friendly.
Real.
Someone who might not be real, or even the person may be real, but the person might be dangerous person, like someone that might put your life at risk.
Yeah.
So how was it for you taking that decision that you are going?
I think even before I came, it's ironically, I asked Casey to send me his driver's license, a picture of that. My sister lives in Canada, and so I sent it to her, like, if something happens to me, this is the person. Not that it would have saved my life, but I at least wanted someone to know exactly where I was going to be at, and if anything happened, they could literally find me. And so when I arrived, even at the airport, I sent like a message to my sister to let her know, hey, I've arrived, I'm here, I'm going to meet him. Anything happens, it is scary. To your point, and yes, absolutely, I'm a female traveling oceans and rivers and mountains away from my country to another country to meet this man I've been talking to online. It's extremely risky, and I will never tell my daughter to do that. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm a risk taker. So I'm like, it's going to be or it's not going to be. You just have to take that step and pray to God and hope that you're making the right decision. To your visa question, so I did. I already had a US visa, a 5-year US visa. And so I didn't need to get anything from him to get the visa to come to America.
All right, so that was easy for you. I'm so happy
Correct.
you mentioned this. And apart from the fact that you got your sister who was in Canada, and at least being in touch with her, letting her know everything you were doing and where you were, what other measure did you put in place to ensure that you were safe, even if you should get there and anything happened, or in case he was catfishing or something, you know? What
So,
other measures did you put in place?
so it's very interesting. When I was coming, Casey actually offered to buy my ticket for me. And I said no, because to your point, my fear was, what if I get here and this is not what it's supposed to be? Do I have the authority to be able to just change my ticket and just go back to Ghana? So I said no.
That's good. Smart idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, she did have a friend up in Massachusetts that
Yeah.
if I wasn't there, then she's gonna fly up to Massachusetts to see her friend too.
So good. Yeah. So another point was I had also made, so one of my best friends lives in Boston, Massachusetts. So I told her, hey, I'm going to come to America, but I didn't really give her the time frame. I said, hey, you're okay if I come over to visit? She said, good. I said, too easy. If I come and I open the doors, this guy's a catfish. I just get a hotel the next day, book another flight to Massachusetts. So to your point, I had every box checked in case it wasn't the right choice.
This is interesting. Thanks a lot for sharing this amazing story with us. And the reason why I kind of focused a little bit on this area is this is the main point for many people who are online now, trying to find love. And the issue is how the world is going right now. A lot of people would will resort to finding love online because of the nature of the jobs we do and our lives now. You know, I was so busy to the point where I didn't even have time for a relationship in person. Can you imagine? Like, wait, because the responsibilities was just too much for me. It was just overwhelming. So I said, let me try this online dating thing and see. Yeah, and then also the fact that the people I was dating saw me to be different. Things that I want, we just didn't share the same ideologies. And it was just not working. So I had to look elsewhere. Yeah. So thanks a lot for sharing. When you got to the US, how was your experience with him? And at what point did you two decide that we want to take this further than just a relationship?
You want to take that question?
Yeah, I would love to hear from.
Whenever I went visit, when I went to pick her up, because where I live to where I went to pick her up is about a 3-hour drive, and so I guess I wasn't really nervous. I wasn't, I was just kind of like, see what's this about type of thing. But whenever I met her and picked her up and seen her, she was different from the people I've used to date. She's actually classy. She's upstanding. She's, very articulate, very nice. And so on the way back, I got to know a little bit more about her and, and things like that. And she got to know a little bit how crazy I am. And the reason why I say that because on the road on the way there, back home, shall I say, there was literally about 2-hour traffic because the interstate was blocked and on the state line. So I just hey, hold on. And we drove through this big old ditch type of thing and came out to the other side because we was running low on gas too. So I did that and went to the gas station. Had a little issue with the gas station. I was trying to figure out how to open the gas station. I opened up the little cover for the gas. And then after that, we went all the way home. But before we got done, she kept complaining about her eye, so I got some eye drops, so I tried to take care of her. I think what really kind of moved me was the first couple of weeks that was together, actually probably the first month or two, that she did treat me better than anybody I had been with before. She had food cooked for me whenever I come home from work, and I was doing 12 hours, so it was really nice for me to have a home cooked meal come while I came home, and it made me really excited to come home and have her. And she brought a lot of peace with me because I came already had a lot of troubles before she came in my life. So she kind of brought me that peace. And that's really what moved me to want to be with her even that much more. Because at one point I was like, no, I don't want to be with nobody else. But ironically, she swept me off my feet.
Wow, you swept him off his feet. I'm so happy to hear this. This is beautiful. Love is a beautiful thing, and when you find it with the right person, you will know the peace that is true peace. You will know true peace, and that is the peace that Casey has found, and that's the peace I pray and hope that other people find as well. Marriage can be very beautiful and can be very enjoyable. But if you make the wrong choice, you would find yourself in the worst situation in the world. So thank you for sharing with us. At what point did you feel like I'm falling in love with this man? And what about him made you come to that conclusion?
I think that I don't remember when we were talking about this. So even the 2 years that Casey and I were talking, there was something about Casey, the fact that he stuck to what he said. You know how people, I always tell Casey this, don't apologize to me, show me you're sorry. And Casey showed beyond everything that this marriage, this is not a joke for me. This is my do or die. This is not a game. I'm not going to come in and when things get harder, I'm going to step back. And to his point, he said it earlier that he had been through a tough time. And so he was like, I'm done. It's either I'm doing this and never looking back or I'm not. It's a choice. So in me, I saw that. Again, a lot of things that we both believed in was very, very eminent when we were together. And so I wanted stability. I am a little bit of a hothead. I think I'm underestimating it, but Casey is very calm, extremely, like no matter how his demeanor is just awesome. And so I saw that balance to my crazy self and his calm self, where it doesn't matter how bad it is, Casey is always going to make you feel comfortable. And I wanted that. The combativeness and everything, it starts to get too old. And so he was very calm, and I wanted that in a person. I wanted that in a relationship where if things are getting hard, I'm going to have this partner stop and say it's going to be okay. And he was that person.
Wow. That is it. Thank you so much for sharing. So guys, this is a very wonderful interview I'm having with Casey and Sheila, based in the US, and they met online. So I believe and I know that you who is online looking for love would also find someone if you can give yourself some time and patience. So I encourage you not to give up, but just keep pushing through. You might just, meet that person at the point where you wanted to quit. Sheila and Casey, when did you two get married? And if you can tell us a little bit about how your marriage happened. Yeah, just us about your marriage. The celebration, I mean, because marriage is already, this is the marriage actually. This is the marriage.
Correct.
Celebration, I mean. Yeah, because people misinterpret the celebration to be the marriage, but
Yes.
living in it and going day by day is the marriage. So how was the celebration of your marriage?
I think you had asked a question earlier. When we got to, I was only coming here for a 2-week holiday was my plan, because I was working back home. I'm coming 2 weeks and I'm going to go back. And then 8 years, going on 9 years, I'm in America now. So.
Oh, this is interesting. It's even getting more interesting. I thought you visited and then came back home and no. All right, let's keep going.
So with that being said, with my one bag and my 2-week vacation, like 3 clothes packed, you obviously know I wasn't prepared for a wedding. And so it was just very, very small and very, very intimate. It was Casey's mom, his sister, our 2 friends that we had made. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We just went to the courthouse.
This is beautiful. Casey, at the point where you were proposing to her, did you know you will be together for 8 years?
I guess that's kind of a hard question. I noticed whenever, like, to back up a little bit, that whenever I first met her and driving over here, I noticed there was something special about her, and I was like, I really like this, and I really like her. And I did kind of want something to blossom out of it. But at the same time, because also I've been through, I didn't know what to expect or what to think because unfortunately, I never had relationships that really last. So I guess I did a lot of stuff that I guess I played by ear. But once she kind of stuck with me because I was dealing with a lot, and she kind of brought me my peace, and she kind of helped me, I guess, catch my mind. And that's why I was like, okay, you know what? This is somebody totally different than I ever been with. So I was like, I do want to keep her. So, I guess after what, 4.5 months, I was like, I want to keep you. So I proposed to her, and unfortunately, she said,
Oh, I'm so happy to hear this. It's so beautiful knowing that yes, you didn't know what to expect, but you were hoping for the best to come out of it, and
yeah.
that's what makes this so beautiful. 8 years and counting, and I would say you guys are really, really making it work. So whatever it is you're doing, keep pushing through, keep doing it, keep it up because you are doing great. Seriously,
Thank you.
you are doing great. To you, what does a successful marriage means?
I would say both has to be humble enough to be able to listen and willing to make that change.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I was willing to make that change because I made a commitment, to God. I made a commitment to her and myself that no matter what happens, that we going to make it last. And the thing is that on top of that, it's like I didn't want to just make it last. I want to actually make it good. Because you can live with somebody for 100 years. It's kind of like, I wish you would die already. I didn't want that. So I want to actually be nice and pleasant. I want to have kids, and my kids say, "Oh, I want this when I grow up." So I've learned that I had to. There's times I was like, you know what, I'm wrong, and stop the fight because I tell Sheila that I didn't like fighting because I did a lot of it. So I was like, you know what, you're right, honey, I'm sorry, and I try to make things, fix things or whatever. So yeah, you got to be humbled enough to like, you know what, even if right or wrong, you're humble enough to say, you know what, I'll let her have this if she's wrong, or if she's right, then you know what, I need to fix this, I need to change. So I guess I'm hoping that's what made her stick with me so much longer, is that she did see that even though it made something, it took me a little bit time to change, but I did change.
I think if I have to just summarize it for you, communication. Casey always says this, and it used to make me so mad, but it's so true. He'll bring something like, why are we still talking about it? And he will say, if we are still talking about it, then it means it's not fixed. So it's very, very important that you communicate. I know our parents say this all the time, but it's so true. If I don't tell him what's wrong with me, Casey will say, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know that. We have to communicate. It's so true. We have to communicate to come to that consensus and be open and be honest. So really, that's what he's trying to say, and it's so true.
I mean, all the answers you've given just summarize what it should be. If you can communicate, how I can read your mind.
You got to be really willing to hear the other person and be acceptable to it. If you're not, then all the communication is not going to change nothing.
That's true. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. What are some of the challenges you had to deal with being an interracial couple? What are some of the challenges you had to deal with?
I think that I will really say the normal one. At this point, it doesn't even faze me. Oh, you're just in this marriage for the green card, for the. It's just normal at this point. Tell me something new, like get some new lines. Everybody has used this line already. So I think for me, it will really be the cultural shock.
Yeah.
Because prior to coming to America, I had traveled a lot. But still, when you visit and when you stay, they're not the same.
That's true.
They're not the same. That your 2-week vacation and your lifetime is not the same. And so it was really little things, the way we say things in Ghana and the way we say things in America. It was not even the same. Like, it wasn't like I was speaking a different type of English when I came here. So when Casey would introduce me when I first got here, he would say, "Hi, this is my girlfriend. She's from Ghana." And I'll say, "Why do you always have to introduce me by saying where I'm from?" And so he stopped. Then I realized, as I started to talk to people, my accent, you can tell. So I started to talk to people, they stopped listening. I realized they're just thinking, where is she from? Instead of really listening to the conversation. And so I started, "Hi, my name is Sheila. I'm from Ghana in West Africa." And immediately you realize they focus on the conversation than trying to think, where is she from? So that was a culture shock for me, because in Ghana, you don't introduce yourself with, "My name is Sheila. I'm from the Ashanti region." You don't do that. You just
That's so true. That is so true. Wow. Yeah. What about Casey?
I think for me, it was kind of like the culture shock, not in the sense of it's the way she was raised compared to the way I was raised. I was raised free willing, hey, go do what you want. Whereas she, on the other hand, where it's like, hey, we're not doing this, we're not doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. I'm like, huh? So I'm like, you know what? But I respected that about her, because I wanted to have that, our family to have that good upbringing. So she had that. So in a lot of sense, even though I may disagree with certain things with her, but I was like, you know what? For the benefit of the doubt and trying to have that better family, I'm going to listen to her. Because we, at one point in time, we have my little nephew come living. And I'm like, it's okay, yeah, go ahead and do this. And she's like, no, you ain't doing this. I'm like, why? Then she explained. I'm like, you know what? I want to go with her because I wanted to have that better life, and she had that better life than I did. So that's why it's hard for me.
That's why it's hard for me. So interesting. Well, this is how we were raised. Some of them are not comfortable once you're going through them, but definitely good once you come out of it and you're at the other side. You look at it and say, "Oh, I guess some of the things we're doing was for a good reason." What advice do you have for someone who is online trying to look for love and relationship? Sheila, from your perspective, a woman, and then Casey, from your perspective, a man out there.
I think that the very, very important thing, I always say this, where there is a will, there is a way. If this is very, very important to you, you're going to keep going, and don't give up. It does seem really tough out there. It does seem people just want nudes. It really does happen. But keep focusing on what you want and keep going. You're going to find that person at the end of the day. And remember this, we get a lot of stigma with Ghanaian girls. Don't confirm the stigma in terms of, oh, all they're going to do is ask you for money. Don't confirm that stigma. Be that difference maker. Remember, I said Casey wanted to even buy my ticket when I was coming here. And so when I got here, people said, well, she just used you to get here. He said, I wanted to buy her ticket. She said, no. If she was somebody that wanted to use me, then she would take that opportunity and go. So just be yourself. Whatever you believe in, pray, have faith. Where there is a will, there is a way.
Thank you so much.
For me, I guess it might be two-sided. For the men's side, be patient and have understanding what really turns you off. And like my wife told me, is that there's a 80-20 rule. Don't worry about the 20%. Unless it's the 20% actually outdoes the 80%, then find something that you really want. For women, respect yourself. There are millions of men, and there's going to be millions more who's going to always looking for a woman. Now, just if you want to be a good woman, have a good man, then be a good woman. If you don't care, then it's easy. But if you want to have a difference, if you want to have that dream, you got to be that. You got to make your dream more or less. You got to respect yourself. Try to keep your baggage low or whatever. Just be respectful of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this. Be respectful of yourself. Know what it is you want. Know what turns you off. And then that would help you know exactly what you're looking for. Thank you. How has marriage been? How has it been so far?
I think that marriage is hard. If our parents really explained to us how difficult it is, we probably wouldn't have made this journey. But it's okay. It's okay to have it hard. It's okay to understand that you're merging your world. Think about it, even if you're a Ghanaian married to a Ghanaian, it's still a culture shock. Somebody from Accra, Ashanti region to Volta region. Now, this is two separate cultures coming together. It's been very, very hard. A lot of cultural differences. But remember what I said. Casey said, I'm not giving up. Whatever we're going to go through, this is not going to end. With that mindset, no matter how hard it got, having kids, we have 2 kids. And throughout the process, I went through postpartum depression. It was a very difficult time in the marriage. Any excuse could have been given to let the marriage end at that point because you don't even understand what each other is going through. But because we had made that commitment that no matter what happens, we are going to stick it out. It was rough. It was really tough at that time, but the commitment was there. And so we pushed through the process. So make a commitment, whatever your faith is. We're Bible believing Christians. And so we believe in the sanctity of marriage. We believe in that union. With that in our mind, we're like, this is going to be hard, but bring 100% each. There is nothing like 50-50. Then where is the other 50 going? 100% of you as a submissive wife. This is going to be contrary to popular belief, but yes, a submissive wife, and then 100% of him as a husband and as a protector of the family. With that understanding, you're going to push through.
Thank you so much, Casey. Anything you want to add to? She said a lot. She's kind of summarized about everything. What do you want to add to that?
For me, it's. I know I caused a lot of issues at the beginning, but I want to make up for all the things because she has shown herself to be more faithful to this marriage than I was expecting. And for the last couple of years, I've really been trying to change myself to be a better husband to her and a better father to my kids. Because I realized she meant that much to me, and for me to show her my appreciation for putting up with me what long she has, then I need to step up and change some things about myself.
Right, already. I'm sorry, I'm so emotional.
That's okay.
Let's go on. Yes, go on. I'm listening.
But I did, in the Bible, I can't remember the guy, but he told me, he says he purposed in his heart he's going to live by God's rule, and that's what I did with Sheila. Is that I purposed in my heart that I'm gonna stay in this marriage no matter what happens. And like I said before, it's not, I didn't want to be in this marriage just for being a marriage or have kids, but I want to have that happy marriage because I come from a broken home. I want my kids to like, you know what, hey, I want my daddy, I want to be like my daddy. I want my daughter to look at me and say, hey, this is the type of husband I want. And I want them to have a positive outlook in life. And the only thing that pulled me through out of every single thing is my belief in God, knowing that God's always watching me, knowing that I'm gonna have to face him one day, and always that hope that he's given me.
This is it. All right, guys, I've got Sheila and Casey here with me, and both from the US, both Christian couple. We are talking about how they met, their marriage and relationship as Christian couple. Would you advise other Christians to go online in search for love?
I'll say yes, because you just never know. But like I always tell my wife, everything happens for a reason. So you never know when God has pulled you to go somewhere. You never know what God is going to have you to do. For example, me and my wife, as you say, we're mixed race. And with this day and age where so much racism is still trying to creep out, they can see us, how we react with our kids, how we react with each other. That can disperse a lot of people's hate because, like, wait, they're doing it, why we can't do it? Mm-hmm. So I believe that, God allows us to use the tools that we have to spread his word, spread love, and to, bless them with it.
That's amazing. Thank you. And Sheila, what's your view on that?
I think it's such an amazing tool. in terms of trying to find somebody to connect with. I think it's for us, and I said this before, I was in Ghana, he was in America. It really gave us time to talk. Instead of really focusing on more physical connection, we are really talking. 2 years of talking. Literally, I feel like we talked about everything, our life expectation. Use that time to learn somebody. Use that time to talk. Pick somebody in different states. And I know people like convenience, but use that to learn each other so that you really know, is this person a good fit for me, or if this person is not? Because we are so easy to just, okay, with me, let's go out on a date. All right, no. Take your time, breathe through the process. So yes, I would definitely encourage online dating for Christians, because again, our worlds are so busy out there, and it's really hard to meet people these days because people work night shift and day shift. Your husband could be sleeping whilst you're still working during the day. So
That's true. That is the truth.
If I may,
Yeah.
I want to piggyback off a little bit off what she says. I think that's what kind of helped our marriage too, because we got to work with so much stuff out before we got to know each other. And I know we're supposed to live by the Bible says, wait till marriage to have sex. And I know we don't always follow that. And so when people are like really close, it's like they hook up and they're so focused on the sex, and then they find themselves in the road or down the road, like 2-3 kids, and they're trying to figure out, okay, no, I want to raise the kids this way. No, I want to raise this kid. So me and Sheila was able to talk about a lot of that before we got there. It's like, so when now we get here, it's like, oh yeah, we know where we talked about, we know where we're going. So we don't have to worry about trying to work it about when those times come.
Wow. So it's like you had time to plan what you wanted.
Yes.
And then when the marriage happened, you just started executing all these plans. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like thumbs up for you. It's so amazing.
But we did have issues. We did have issues, but we still worked it out because we made a we're going to work this out.
Yeah. Yeah. Being a Christian doesn't mean you're not going to face problems. You will definitely face problems. And being married also doesn't mean that there are no issues going to happen. They will come, sometimes even more than being single. But the fact is, how strong-minded and willed are you, and how much resources, wisdom do you have to be able to manage the challenges that would come? That is it. So thanks a lot for spending your time and sharing with us. Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Interracial. I am an educator, a public speaker, and the author of Your Unstoppable. My channel is focused on relationship, marriage, online dating, and women empowerment. Anything I can share to empower young people out there, I share on my channel. And if you are new here, I welcome you to subscribe to the channel, and also do not forget to turn on your notification bell so that anytime I put up a new video, you will receive an alert from me. Thanks for watching my video, and do not forget to like this video and also leave a nice comment down there. What's your thoughts about relationship and marriage, especially interracial marriage? What's your thoughts about it? In today's video, I'm interviewing my amazing friend Sheila and Casey, and they are based in the US, a very amazing Christian couple who are so happily in love. And I wish that everyone out there can find a love as beautiful as this. If you are looking for that and you are doing this online, I want you to know there are ways you can do this safely and find love. That means looking out for red flags. So there are videos that I've linked up here. Make sure you watch red flags to look out for if you are dating online, and stay away from these red flags. Being a Christian, can I date online? If you are asking this question as well, there is another video that you can watch as well, and that would guide you. Let's come back to Casey and Sheila. So what final words do you have for my subscribers and viewers?
For male or female, respect yourselves. You know, for men, get yourself something to bring to the family, to do for the family. For the women, respect yourself, so when you find that special person, you have something very special to give them.
Thank you. Respect yourself. Thank you so much, Casey.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. I think that my last words will be, remember this: where there is a will, there is a way. This has been my mantra in my life when things are getting harder. Do I have a will, to want to push through this, then I am going to have to be able to find a way to do this. So don't give up. It's going to get hard. It's going to get tough. This online dating world is hard, but don't give up. Do you really want this? How much do you really want it? And keep pushing for it.
And it will be rewarded.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. With beautiful smiles like this. Thank you too for your time. I really appreciate it. I do not take it for granted at all. I really appreciate your time. If I was to pay you, you know how much I would have to pay you for this. Yeah. So God bless you richly. And for me, it's just sharing knowledge with people, just so that they can know. There are some mistakes that some people have made, which means if they had the knowledge prior, they wouldn't make that mistake. And I feel that if we share our experiences, it would help others who are coming up to learn from us, and so they don't commit the same mistakes or, fall into the same mistakes. So thanks a lot for sharing with us, and God richly bless you.
Yeah.
I wish you the best.
Thank you, Rita. Bye.
Bye-bye.